Hello everyone, and today I'm going to be talking about 5 of the most haunted, creepiest places on Earth. Please enjoy. Number 1. Eastern State Penitentiary. Built in 1829, Eastern State Penitentiary is a former prison in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It is the first prison of its kind to introduce solitary confinement, or formerly known as the Pennsylvania System. Prisoners were sent to solitary during this time as a form of rehabilitation. They would be completely isolated, living alone, eating alone, and even exercising in their own individual yards. Whenever an inmate left his cell, a black hood would be placed over his head to assure he remained in confinement. Due to Eastern State's harsh approach, many prisoners were driven to insanity, and as a result, the Pennsylvania system was scrapped in 1913. From then until 1970, it was used as a regular prison, and held the likes of Al Capone and the bank robber Willie Sutton. Reports of the paranormal have been going on since the 1940s, but ever since the Stone Prison closed down in 1971, paranormal experiences have seemingly increased. Reports include shadowy figures that seem to quickly turn away once approached, a dark figure that is occasionally seen in the guard tower, cackling sounds heard from cell block 12, shadowy figures seen sliding down walls in cell block 6, ghost faces that have been witnessed in cell block 4, and strange sounds such as disembodied footsteps, distant talking, and banging of cell doors have also been heard. Number 2. Waverly Hills Sanatorium. Waverly Hills was originally a 2-story wooden building opened in 1910. However, the building you see today was constructed in 1926. It served as a tuberculosis ward throughout the early to mid 20th century, a time when the disease was at its worst. It's also believed that as many as 63,000 patients died there. The death toll, as well as supposed mistreatment and questionable experimental procedures on patients, may be some of the recipes behind one of the most haunted buildings in the whole of the US. Waverly Hills has built quite the reputation over the years as more and more people are allowed to investigate the premises. This has thrown up some incredible evidence over the years. It is featured on Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventurers, and Most Haunted. There are vast amounts of varying reports, including full-bodied apparitions, fleeting shadows, screams from empty rooms, sudden cold spots, and disembodied voices, among many others. Number 3. Monte Cristo Homestead. The historic Monte Cristo in Junee, New South Wales is regarded as the most haunted place in Australia. Its reputation is believed to stem from the amount of tragic events that have occurred there since it was built in 1885. And from its construction up until 1948, the Crawley family owned and resided at the property. During this time, the family laid witness to many deaths, including the death of a young child who fell down the stairs, a maid who was believed to have fallen off a balcony, and a young stable boy who burnt to death on the property. There was also a mentally ill man named Harold who was chained up in the caretaker's cottage for 40 years. He was found curled up next to the body of his dead mother, and then sent to a mental institution where he died shortly after. However, the tragedy doesn't end with the Crawleys. After the house was left in 1948, it was taken over by a group of caretakers, one of whom was murdered in the caretaker's cottage. Number 4. The Castle of Good Hope. The Castle of Good Hope was built in the 17th century by the Dutch East India Company. It is the country's oldest colonial building, originally serving as a replenishment station for ships passing through the treacherous waters. The first reported paranormal occurrence was when the apparition of a tall gentleman was seen on one of the castle's ramparts in 1915. It wasn't seen again until 1947, when he was seen regularly over a 2-week period. He would be seen jumping off the side of one of the castle walls and walking between the bastions Leerdam and Orange. One of the most popular stories associated with the castle is that of former Governor Pieter Gisbert van Noot. He died on the 23rd of April 1728, the same day he sentenced 7 soldiers to death for attempting to desert the military. It is believed that one of the soldiers placed a curse on Van Noot and demanded he watch the execution, which he did not. Later that day he was found dead, slouched over his desk with a look of terror on his face. Another famous haunting is of the Lady in Grey. She has been witnessed running through the castle holding her face and crying hysterically. However, since a woman's body was found during recent castle excavations, no sightings of the lady in grey have been reported. Sometime in the 1700s, a soldier was found hanging from the bell rope in the bell tower which overlooks the castle entrance. After his death, the bell tower was permanently sealed off. However, to this day, the bell has been known to strike off its own accord. There's also the ghost of a black dog who's been known to pounce on unsuspecting visitors, then vanish into thin air. Number 5. The Tower of London. With a history of torture and execution dating back over 900 years, the Tower of London is regarded by many as one of the most haunted locations in the UK. Originally built in 1078 by William the Conqueror, it has served a major role in the history of England ever since. There have been many reports of the paranormal at the Tower of London over the years. One of the most famous ghosts that live within the tower's walls is that of Anne Boleyn, the wife of King Henry VIII. She was beheaded in 1536 and her headless body has been seen walking the tower's corridors, often near the spot of her demise. Other full-bodied apparitions have also been seen, including that of Lady Jane Grey, who was spotted by a guardsman in 1957. In the White Tower, the White Lady has been seen, often standing at the window where she once stood, waving to her children who were on the other side of the building. Perhaps the most spine-chilling of all reports includes the mysterious appearance of 2 children. They have been witnessed throughout the rooms of the castle. They're often seen in their nightgowns, holding hands and with a look of terror upon their faces. It is believed that these are 2 former princes who were sent to the tower after being deemed illegitimate by Parliament. They vanished one day and it was assumed that they were murdered by order of their uncle, the Duke of Gloucester. Apparently 2 small skeletons were exhumed beneath a staircase in the White Tower. Well, I really hope you enjoyed today's creepy video. I'd really like you to subscribe and hit the like button. And if you could, why don't you share it on Facebook or share it on Twitter or Instagram or any other social media platform. It would really do a lot to help me grow my channel, which I really want to do. Thanks and have a nice day.